So this is interesting and fun. This is another chunk of ornament and crime. Yeah, typically my for sure schedule is Monday, Friday, Sunday. Wednesdays are like maybe, but being summer, it's more than likely a probably. And I've been on a bit of a modular kick lately, in case you couldn't tell. So this is kind of cool. This is so it's an analog shift register, right? Okay, so right now, this is getting... Oh, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. So right now, this is getting a... let's see. Let's actually change it. Let's do a ramp up quarter note. Okay. So... what an analog shift register does, basically, like, it's like a sample and hold, in a way, but it like retains those values. All right, so I've got this controlling 3 different oscillators, all tuned to the same note, right? And then it's going through a scale. It's automatically quantizing it and stuff. So here's our kind of like lead. And then so I had this thought of actually complexifying this by like 1,000,000%. And I think I'm going to try that. I was just kind of farting around here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put each of those... I'm going to skip the filters for now, to be honest. Let's just put them into VCAs instead of into filters. Okay. So the controls are coming from the core, the thing, the ornament and crime. Poke my eye out with my own cable. And then I'm thinking what would be cool is to run an envelope from the dot sequencer, right? Clocked dot sequencer. Put it on Euclidean, weird Euclidean patterns. Okay. And then I'm going to take 3 triggers out from the dot sequencer. And then ploop. And then what I could do is actually change the length of a couple of these. I'll put one at 12, one at 13, and one at 16. Okay. And then put these all on like similar envelopes here, just like short attack, slower decay, just little pingy envelopes. Okay. And then run those into my VCAs. Let's use a different color for this. I tell people that drink Heineken, like, why don't you get a Grolsch, which is similar but better? Not bad. One time, a student of mine, well, their parents at least, bought me a 3-pack of Chimay beer, like for a Christmas gift, and it was the greatest thing ever. So it was like a blue label, red label, and a white label. And I don't know if you're familiar with Chimay, Chimay. It's a Trappist beer, a Trappist ale from Belgium/France, because those Trappist monasteries are like right on the border of Belgium and France, like whatever. Okay. And they're some of the best beers just ever. Yeah. What was interesting was the kid brought it to school, had it in his backpack. So like you had a backpack full of, strong Belgian ales. You could have easily gotten half of your class completely tanked off of what was in their backpack. Like that's pretty bold. So there's our part 1. Here's our part 2. So then the marbles is clocked, and it is changing the scale mask. So it shifts it basically, and right now it's on a Lydian scale, but it's basically changing chords. We can slow everything down. It's really neat. It's like C majors. So C with like an add sharp 4, and then like a D over C, E minor chord. It's really neat. Oh, I have idea. I'm going to record this into the R bar. Yeah, well, therein is the question, isn't it? And I plan on finding out. Now, the only problem, and again, this points to some of the issues in my actual case here. Like, for example, I used to have a little 4-channel mixer, and I would like to have another mixer in here. I think I need one. But it doesn't have to be a 4-channel mixer that takes 8 HP. I think I'm ready to take the plunge and take the lizard out of here, and I'm considering the ultra random analog as well, because I've got like 3 or 4 sources of randomness right now, and I almost never use that thing. It's a nice module. It's just 2 sample and holds. And, like, they work well. So. Where were we? Oh, yeah, we were here. So there's our E minor, C major, yeah. Oh, yeah. You absolutely can. Yeah. I really do believe it's 50-50. It's limited by your equipment and your imagination. So, like, making do with the least amount possible and seeing what you can do with just that, that's pretty fun. It's pretty neat. Okay, I mean, that's all well and good. I think that should go through a filter, though, to be completely honest. So, I think I'm going to do that. I do like to use the... Yeah, I have a couple of modules on my short list that I think I'm going to probably order in the next week or two here. One of them is another stereo filter. I'm going to replace this yellow wasp filter here with... probably a Bastel Akimi, I think it's called, which is a stereo filter that's actually got some really interesting little features and stuff. So that'll be kind of cool. I think that'll be a good addition to this. And then probably a 4-channel mixer and maybe another funky, weird Logic module of some sort. I don't know yet. Those are the 2 sure things that are definitely going to happen. But yeah, there's really 2 to 3. The Lizard is the definite one. Second place is this ultra random analog. Third place is going to be the sequencer. And honestly, fourth place could be the Tempi. I really don't use it in here, like almost never. But that would be a good clock source for my other case. It might be actually really good for that. Because it is pretty nice. It's a nice little clock source. You know, it just works well. So, and I could use this as a clock source in here. I could not use the data. I could just use Tempe as my clock source. That'd be easy. But, yeah, there's something kind of weird about it that it's never... Well, that's pretty lovely. Let's throw an LFO into the positioning of the R-bar. So we'll just throw output into there and then into here. And then we'll put this on infinite repeat. And then we'll make it take a lot longer. 15 seconds. Didn't do... Okay, that's because we got to start it all the way left. This is a filter. This is like my favorite filter. Yeah, oh yeah. It's my buddy, STG Sound Labs. I've got his VCO and his filter, and I think I'm gonna get his BIN, which is it's a comparator, COM. He makes his own modules and stuff. He's got his own company and he does cool shit. Very weird niche stuff though. Like all of his stuff uses like old school Roland synchronization. Yeah. Yeah, I mean this is a particularly unique ladder filter, which is what that is, 24 dB per octave ladder filter. So this has 6, 12, 18, and 24 dB. And then it has the reverse phase of each of these. So you can actually use it as like an 8-output oscillator or LFO, depending on how high you set your resonance, which is pretty wacky. And then the signal inputs become 1 volt per octave inputs. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's about $400 for that filter. It's a gorgeous filter, but it is mono, and I think that's one drawback. Man, if that thing was in stereo, I'd want to have babies with it. It's just an amazing sounding filter. And it does have 3 signal inputs. So, like here, I'll show you the difference. The difference is pretty... Well, it's a little bit... It's going to be some weird stuff, though, because it's going to have... It's going to have some phase issues. But, I mean, it sounds great. You know, it's an amazing sounding thing. But this Neutron sounds different, but just as quality. Just as good, with many different characters, and genuinely stereo. So there's like a definitive like stereo path through this thing. So this and then this. So then we could go through and like take our sequencer down to like God, these oscillators are so goddamn loud. We can change the length of the sequence and stuff like that. There, put it on 8. So that's interesting. It's really neat. There, I slowed down the clock substantially. Put it on triangle waves. Everyone gets a triangle wave. I'm gonna move the clock to something totally different here. Okay, so this is using marbles as a clock, but with the jitter turned all the way up. It should start spazzing out quite a bit. Okay, now I wonder if we could use that same... Oh, let's try it. So I'm going to use that same fucked up, disjointed clock signal to run the ornament in crime, yes, but also the clock in on the dot sequencer. So now everything should be synchronized at the exact same time here. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, ask questions away, man. This is supposed to be interactive entertainment. Interactive. Especially on days like today where I'm just experimenting and farting around. Deep dives. Well, this is weird and interesting. Okay, so the dot sequencer. This is a Euclidean rhythm sequencer, alright? So you basically set the number of pulses, but then you can set the length, and then you can shift the whole thing. So I basically have each one of them playing one pulse each. And then shifting each one and putting them at different lengths so they occur at different places here. And then we should just put a shitload of delay on them. Right now, it's 80. Hard to make out on that camera, but the Mordax data is driving my clock. So it's clocking the marbles, it's clocking everything. It's just that the marbles has this built-in jitter. So it just basically turns the clock into a spazzy mess the more you turn it up. Yeah, that tells me. It's got 4 simultaneous clock outputs when you use it in that mode. It's normally an oscilloscope. That's what it shows. Everybody shows, the data as an oscilloscope. But honestly, I think it's a fucking great clock, master clock. Each channel is configurable for divisions automatically. So, in weird divisions like, 2/3 or 1.5 or, all sorts of different cool things to use it for, like, polyrhythms and stuff. They're so loud. What I'm not quite getting is the interactivity between... You're supposed to supply this with a voltage. Like that is... It's sampling. It's sampling a voltage. Right? So, right now, I've just got it on an LFO, on a ramp up LFO every quarter note. So if I change that, does it change the thing? What if we put it on super slow every 8 beats? Like, will it actually change the sequence now? Because it doesn't sound much different. Okay, if I just listen to 1... So that's the actual full pattern right there. My God, that sounds nice, though. I need my stereo. Oh, so much better. this sounds like a job for triple sloths. Let's attenuate this channel, though. Cable! Sure. Yeah, that's easy. I mean, it would just need some drums. Speed up the tempo. Speed up the tempo, number one. So, reset the clock here. There it is. So I'm gonna marbles run my drums, which it does a pretty cool job at. Run the kick all though through VCA and boost the shit out of it because it's never loud enough. run hi-hat from the standard clock. So 16th note hi-hats, 4 on the floor kick drum, although it isn't actually. Kick drum is playing a funky pattern. So the drums are all done with marbles. Marbles has a mode that calculates kind of like drum equivalences for each of the 3 clock outputs. So you just give it a clock and it spews out drum randomness. But it's randomness that sounds good, so like it's not random, right? Wow, Serum and Ableton. That's what a fucking shocker. I just shat my pants. Yeah, exactly. It is AI. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. But okay, so the mutable instruments modules, they're really genius. They're really brilliant. And the designer is a French, I believe a French woman named Emily, who just wanted to get a sort of a different way of doing things. Like if you look up Light Bath, LIGHTBATH. Light Bath does some really gorgeous little ambient jams just using mutable instruments stuff. That was fun. Now what? Tear it all down and start fresh. It's a moment. It's lost in time, but recorded for posterity forever on the YouTubes. So here we go, off into another adventure. This is one of the things that I really, really love about modular synthesis. No saving, no patch recall. All right. Pow, pew, pew. Pow, pow, pew. I think I may shut it down and reset it. Yeah, let's do that. Because that'll reset the dot sequencer, that'll reset ornament and crime, that'll do all kinds of happy things for us that otherwise would be. It's easier to do that than to change settings in like a bunch of different modules. Melodicer is freaking the fuck out right now, though. Oh, God, no clock! Generate all of the notes! Ah! That's what it's doing right now. Yeah, it's not getting a clock. That's why. It's all confused. I don't want 220. Yeah, okay. I kind of want to make... Anybody ever listen to Photech? Ostensibly drum and bass, but like, you know, cool as hell. And just very different. He's kind of considered like old school drum and bass, but I don't know. I don't hear anybody else making music like his. So whether you got started early and therefore you're old school, but you're still making like amazing, unique music, yeah, you know, so it's worth checking out. There's an album that's a favorite of mine called Solaris. That's just all these like funky offbeat breaks and bass lines and like, you know, typical like ridiculous subs and man, it's just super cool. So let's do some funky. Yeah, I'm gonna tear the whole thing down basically right now and take out all of my clock, and I'm gonna run everything kind of like fresh. Today was a weird day. I had all these plans, and almost every single one of them got derailed. And yeah, very strange. My aunt and uncle just like stopped into town from Utah. It was like, hey, we're in town. What? That was weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a day. It's interesting. Let's see here. Let's... Ooh, should we try digging into a different mode on... By the way, I tried calibrating my Turing machine again, and it's still not working right. And I think I just need a better screwdriver, honestly, at this point. So I need to make sure I do. I forgot to do that on my way here today. Just grab my like jeweler's screwdrivers to bring to try to calibrate that thing. I watched a couple more videos on it, and one of them was good because you clock it with actually a square wave output of an oscillator, right? And you just give it a square wave, and it will actually produce a tone on the output. Because I mean, hey, it's just looking at pulses and comparing them. So, and I did that, and it's still I don't think I'm actually adjusting the thing in here. I think I'm just sort of like slipping around and not quite getting it moving. I built it though. So, yeah. I think it's just out of calibration, that's all. And yeah. So I just need to get a screwdriver and actually fix it. And the problem is that I think I did turn the calibration screw enough to like put it completely out of whack now. So like it doesn't do happy things. That is for sure. Um could try something sort of similar in terms of randomness, in a way. Isn't there a setting on this thing that gives me like 4 Turing machines? I should look that up and try using that because that would be kind of cool. So between I can troubleshoot it. So here's the thing, right? I can read a circuit and I can solder pretty well, but that doesn't mean I'm an electronics engineer. So going through a circuit and seeing like, oh, this is a bad component and this is a good thing, especially when you're dealing with like transistorized logic modules and ICs, that's way over my head. I can follow directions. I mean, that's chimp stuff. If you can solder, you can look at a picture and duplicate it. It's easy to build. Not so easy to have the knowledge to go in there with a multimeter and a logic probe. Okay. So, something funky. Something funky. All right. First of all, let's give. I liked clocked the clocked marbles drums. That actually sounded pretty awesome, must say. Okay, so if we put the bias straight in the middle, no jitter. Okay, so if you notice, these two lights are basically back and forth. Kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. So they're like, that's going to be our main kind of like kick drum, snare drum timing. So I'm going to go ahead and hook that up. Go ultra basic kind of thing here. Just going to go. So this is going to here. No. Let's use samples. Yeah, let's use samples. I made a thing with the kick-all once, and I used it as a voice, and it was totally cool. And let's run our samples through the distortion. Now we're talking. Now we're playing with gas or something. And then we'll go. Channel 1 is our kick drum. Okay. We'll go channel 2, our so-called snare drum, our aforementioned snare drum. And we'll run that into channel 2 of the distortion here. And you'll go there. And now we just load some samples. So, number 1, library, kicks. Oh, bass drum. So technical. I know there's some 808s and stuff in here. There's probably some 909 type bass drums as well. Shitload of kick drums in here. Well, actually, there's not that many. There's about 20 of them. Okay, where are we here? That's where we are. We're panned left. That's a problem. Oh, that's cool, actually. But I'm looking for something more like... more chonk. Kind of like more like that, but longer maybe? Whoa. What note is that? It's E. What do you know? Okay. Let's definitely shorten that. All right. Now channel 2. You find us a snare, something kind of nasty. Okay, but So it's basically the complexity of the pattern. Now, if you notice the pattern, it's like a 4-measure loop. I think, maybe not. Okay, so now let's play with clock and do a thing here. that's level. That's what. Yeah, the problem is there's no... Damn, I mean, there's no... Shit. There's no control over the bend amount, and that's kind of what I really want to like do stuff with here. What happens if we just ditch the tuning control? Well, I like the direction this has gone in. Okay, let's make up a bass part here, which will be very easy. We could do this in a few different ways. Let's use the vector, though, because at least that'll be, you know, dependable. Just that. And then maybe occasionally, let's go to modulation sequence. And then we want it to go -4. Six, 7. Okay. So how do we want this to happen? We want length 8, forward, rate, whole note. Yeah, actually that might work out okay. And then control, I'm changing to, let's just put it in E minor and make life happy. Let's make a quite large bass sound here. Wait, what? Sorry, man. let's see here. What we're going to do? Where are we going to? Let's go to the. Let's go to this guy. Sub oscillator on. Chain both of those LFOs together, and then take the 18 dB output and throw it in. every once in a while. Sounds like it's playing like weird notes. voice. Just make another one. Second. See how much better the main Kato sounds. Oh shit! Oh, it's so much better! Ah! Come on, that's ridiculous. And I'm out. Peace.